And that's what THI is all about. First you save yourself and then you save the world. There was some good news this week in November, as apparently there's still a pulse amongst liberty-minded citizens in one small North Carolina town that turned out en masse to defy the city's attempt to mandate mask requirements. When told they had to wear a mask to participate in the meeting, they refused, and the city council and local police backed down in front of the angry crowd. And this is the kind of action it is going to take across the country to stop this medical tyranny. And then we had this report. There has been a 98% plummet in flu infections this year. Oh my. I wonder how that happened, Zippy. Perhaps we'll ask John Hopkins. Dispelling fears of a COVID and flu twindemic about which many had warned. Experts say we can thank masks and social distancing. Experts are jackasses. There are no experts, as this year has clearly shown on all levels. Masks and vaccines clearly don't work as stated, otherwise they would not be so worried by those who don't participate in it. Although there is no mass testing for flu as there is COVID, the World Horror Organization says that surveillance of data from around the world shows flu cases collapsing everywhere. Oh, common sense question. Could it be that COVID is actually flu? Australia essentially skipped their entire flu season this year, with not a single case reported since July, which is their peak. It's their winter, remember. Oops. In fact, flu has more or less vanished throughout the southern hemisphere, and early indicators suggest it will follow suit north of the equator. What can explain this unprecedented decline? And Schwab also speaks of the coming fourth industrial revolution, where most human jobs will be accomplished by robotics. Clowns in panic proven again. This year we'll see the two tribes go to war, with psychopaths, astrals and bots on one side, and the realists and the self-thinkers on the other. So why did these more developed souls come here from the late 50s, 1960s onwards? Well, it was part of a mission that was to save the people in here and also destroy the system, the dark forces, and their technology to boot. This could not be achieved from outside of here and could only be done from the inside. Previous external fixings made things worse, it seems. And in essence, and also in an amusing sense of irony, these developed souls entered here like a virus and attacked the host from within. It became clear this mission is not about saving the all. It turned into a rescue mission and then a salvage mission, as the full truth of what took place here became all too clear. and of great disappointment. But despite that, they pushed on. The 15% mentioned earlier, these are your 15% organic souls. Organic souls will not be tricked by their zeros and ones game. We are the one on one and with the one. But we are surrounded by programmed bots called Smiths. Engaging them becomes an exercise in low vibration. They are machines. You cannot reason with machines. And recognise that fact is a key to understanding what is and has gone on here. They are called Smiths because it's the most common Western name. Then they tell you to keep in touch with another of the most common names, Jones. All keep up with the Joneses now. That'll be a no. The tech of theirs rendered obsolete has made a big difference here. More than can be realised even by most of our listeners. It laid the path for where we are today. Like I said, event one was, we are all still alive. An achievement in and of itself. But without mainstream media telling you that, it becomes a moot point for many. What other reasons did they come here for? To raise the frequency and be ready for the wave and the return of the source-based energies. Without all the previous work done, those energies would not have been as beneficial. It would have overwhelmed people and sent them spiraling into chaos. Some will argue that has taken place when you look around you, and yes, that is true. But our members were warned of its coming, and many of you took it on board. Or you would all be like those around you as well. The path had to be cleared for the return of the G-Cloud and G-Matter. Many of you have been experiencing this yourselves since we played that note on a show 3 years back now. That cloud is of ultimate benefit to those who did the work, and you are organic. Those who didn't will suffer. The frequency is too high for them to handle, but their struggle and suffering will be short. I did a riddle recently and I tested my own theory that the inorganic veil was collapsing. And could I witness it where the veil is at? And yes, I did. It's at 9,000 feet and fallen. But as above and so below. So it's rising at 9,000 feet also below our feet. As it pushes up and presses down, this will cause a compression point, a bulge of the planet, if you will, and increases stress on the plates, mountains and volcanoes. This is the expansion the planet is experiencing, and potentially your GPSs may not be as accurate as you thought. The planet is shifting, as many airports have found out. Runways built and pointed to the magnetic north are now way off centre due to this shift. So we had organic, higher developed souls paved the way and prepare for the full return of organic life here and the planet's restoration to organic life. That will have consequences for the inorganics that are left here. Phasing and shifting, you're so fine, and the world will disappear. Final piece. I recently said a statement to one of our members, and which is kind of an odd statement until you ponder on it. I said the message was in the words, not the destination. And the follow-up to that was, the deeper you go, the further you travel. So what does that all mean? Well, it can mean several things, but let's ponder on a few. Words have frequencies, and you have to combine them to get the message across. You will not arrive at your destination without combining the frequencies. Those that make statements without compiling the required frequencies are at the destination, but they have no idea how they got there or why, and they are lost at sea permanently. The deeper you go, the further you travel is about you. You go deeper into you, and you will travel further than you can imagine. But you have to combine the frequencies and grasp them, then retain them like a muscle memory to arrive at your destination. This is your journey. It's not mine. It's not anyone else's, but your journey only. The journey was long. It was arduous, brutal, and traumatic as we travailed through the crossroads, pondered the forked path, went down the left path and fell to walk the right path, became aware of the hidden side street cul-de-sacs that looped back to the left path. And it is a testimony to how far many of us have come in what is a blink of an eye in terms of time. The key to it all is not you fighting the system in a direct way. Society teaches you to do that, or educates you to do that. You fight the self to change the system. Mastery of the self weakens the system. The system relies on you to feed it. Why keep doing it? You fight the self to change the system. Mastery of the self weakens the system. The alt media talks of 0 point energy, and we need machines to create and harvest it. Typical limitation program. But there is no zero until you create it, or create from it. Zero is just a point of reference of inorganic value until you create something with it. Then it has an organic numerical value. The dark cannot do that, only the light. Like an artist with a blank piece of paper, people will just say it's a blank piece of paper. Like they say there is nothing in the 0 point or the singularity. Why is there nothing there? Because it was waiting for your input. You are the artist. You are the creator. You are that energy, and the zero energy is a dormant space and a canvas from which you have to produce from. Remember the term, out of the nothing came the all. The all is you, and the nothing is your creative playground. Get and be creative for source sakes. We did this piece yesterday, but it's a reminder again. You cannot forgive if you don't forgive yourself. You cannot trust if you don't trust yourself. You cannot fully care for others if you don't care for yourself. You cannot think for others if you don't think for yourself. You cannot soothe anger if you don't restrain your own. You cannot heal your inner if you continue to project outer. You cannot request change if you don't change yourself. Ascension is an inner process, not an external. You cannot hope to achieve high consciousness with lower vibrational actions and thinking. You cannot heal the planet if you haven't healed yourself. You cannot love if you don't love yourself. Not loving yourself leads to a heart of stone, and the Excalibur sword we all have the potential of holding becomes only a self-cutting tool. This has been the Truth, Honour and Integrity Show. My name's Thomas Williams. I hope you enjoyed the show. Bye for now.